Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Dan.
Together we are all three of the Office Blokes.
Yep.
Count them.
Count them, yeah. Count them. 1,
2. Is that count a minute?
Oh, was that Count Dracula? Count
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah, we're back to a threesome. So there you
Indeed.
go. That's all you need to know about that. How was your holiday?
Can't beat a threesome.
You can't. Unless you have a foursome.
What's its rules too?
Don't knock it.
Pretty sure if it's a threesome and you're in prison, it's not the best kind of threesome.
It might be in the circumstance. You never know.
Yeah, any hole's
You
a
know
goal. Anyway, Lawrence is titillatingly teasing us with a title of a video there.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
11 things I'll really miss about America.
As he's packing up.
He's going on holiday, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
He's coming back to the UK to see his family. It's
Yeah.
got to be. There's no way, unless it's all gone wrong for him.
Nah, he's a citizen now.
Yeah.
I was a proper citizen, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, fair
11
point.
things. You think it'd be 10, really?
Nah,
Just
11.
saying.
Well, apparently that's one thing Mr. Beast sort of cracked years ago was, you don't give people 9 grand, you don't give people 15 grand. It's always got to be a big round number, 50 grand, or like there's little things that he's tweaked over the years that make it.
Yeah.
So maybe 10 things will be better.
Yeah. All right.
I'll ask Mr. Beast when I speak to him later.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll know.
Right then, 11 things I'll really miss about America.
He'd probably answer back to Dave and go,
Oh, Jimmy. He's doing his sad face as well, look. Looking serious.
What a day to do this on. 15 years after moving to America, today I'm going to do something that I just never thought would happen. You tell yourself, ooh, this'll last forever, but that's never the case in life. And today I'm sitting in my car getting set to make a video in which I make you think that I'm leaving the United States to go home for Britain in order to generate clicks, and hoping that once you have clicked, you stick around, because even though I'm not leaving the United States, there could come a time when I do. And when that happens, 10, 15, 20 years from now, there are hundreds of things that I would completely and utterly a little bit miss about it. And because nobody wants to sit through a 7-hour video, I thought I'd just pare it down to 11. And so amid this appropriately British weather, here are some of the things that I'm going to miss about the United States.
Dick. What's going on with that chair next to him?
with no headrest.
I know, no headrest, different colour.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I hope he shows his
bizarre.
wife in this video. I'm getting concerned
I
for her
know,
safety.
Because I've got the Kleenexes ready. I'm going to miss trees, which makes it sound like we don't have trees in the United Kingdom, which is blatantly a lie. We just don't have trees that are as big. Sometimes here, trees go so high, like the redwoods that I saw out in California, that they might as well have an elevator attached to them. In fact, some of those trees out west have such bloody thick trunks you could fit 2 elevators in there and a stairwell. Of course, in reality, this would be a terrible idea just because squirrels would chew through the cables. But despite encountering the occasional pest, I'm really going to miss American wildlife. I don't know what it is, but in the last few years I've just become very...
When I was on holiday, I went into this Zen zone, right, where it's like an adult-only Zen zone, very quiet, very peaceful. Sort of thing, and it's like it's out in the field in the resort I was on, so it's like all manicured grass, like really cool, big trees sort of thing, and it was a bar, and I thought, great bar.
There you go.
Juice
So I thought,
bar.
that's it. It was a juice bar. I'm like dickhead. I'm like, you don't do any alcohol, and he's like, I think he was Portuguese or Brazilian, the lad, and he's trying to talk to me in like broken English. And I'm like, no alcohol whatsoever, no like smoothies only. And I'm like, so I'm sat under the tree in this chair. It's dead quiet, and then all of a sudden something just went fucking right above me. I shit myself.
What was?
He jumped up. I was like, what the fuck was that? I don't know what it was.
You don't know what it was?
It sounded like a monkey of some sort. It was dead loud, but right in my ear. So I don't miss the wildlife.
That's what you get for being in a Zen zone drinking smoothies.
Oh, I lasted about 5 minutes, and I
Yeah.
went, grabbed my towel, grabbed my stuff, and just walked off. And went straight back to the bar, to the real bar.
Zen's not for me.
No,
It's nature putting you back in your place.
Yeah.
You don't want us, we don't want you.
so I don't miss wildlife.
very, very fascinated by animals. I do know what it is. I'm in my 40s now. And because of where I live, a lot of them just happen to be North American species. And when it comes to the broad range of American wildlife, I feel like I've only just scratched the surface. A bit like my dog. I figured that I should include something about Chicago since I've predominantly lived here. And I thought, what could that be? Maybe the Silly Little Bean, which I've been to around about 7 times. Or maybe something that I used to use every single day, the Lakeshore Trail. Because when I used to work downtown, I would put on this helmet, get on my bike and hit that cycle path like I was a psychopath. To be clear, I didn't do any property damage. But I did ride it. 7 miles there, 7 miles back, with Lake Michigan always at my side, unless I was in Lake Michigan. That was roughly when I stopped using the trail. Max? Yeah, I'm filming a video. What am I going to do without American diners? No, it's hypothetical. If I move back to England, what am I going to do without American diners? Because I know that they have American-style diners in the UK, but they're not the same. It's like when here they make authentic British-style pubs, and the reason that they're authentic is that they have 12 pictures of Queen Elizabeth in them. That's not something we do in Britain, and in America we don't have pictures of Al Capone scattered all over the place. You know, so I think it will be sad, and I love American diners. I love them more than I love my own, not my wife. I wasn't going to say that, but more than I love my own cat. He's in the house, he won't know about that. Every weekend, my wife and I make a habit of going to a diner. And it's usually one of those local types, you know, Frank's Diner or Catherine's Cafe. And there's just something really great and lovely and welcoming about the ambience of those places. And you can't replicate it in England. I mean, of course, we have tea shops, things like that.
Where I lived in New Jersey, had the most diners in the state than any other state.
Oh, really?
It's like the diner capital.
Right.
Of the
Yeah.
USA is New Jersey.
Right.
Was there a lot of like Italian delis and stuff as
Yeah.
well?
Mm-hmm. Mostly like Jewish Italian, sort of Jewish
Right.
American sort of like type delis. But the diners, most of them that I knew were owned by Greeks and like Cypriots and stuff
Right.
like that.
They have a lot of chains, sort of diner-wise.
You have like Denny's was like
individuals,
the only
or-
one that springs to mind straight off the bat, but it was
Yeah.
mostly individuals.
Oh, were they? Oh, okay.
Are
Interesting.
they like more affordable than restaurants?
Yeah, very much so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a greasy spoon over here.
Yeah.
Like your cafes
Yeah.
over here, sort of thing. But they're open 24 hours. You know, it's got like the typical woman working there, like coffee, and they just put, keeps filling you up. One of them. And you get your pancakes and
Yeah.
shit in there, sort of thing. And
Oh,
it's
do they
like
open on 24 hours? Is there a lot of them open 24 hours?
all of them are 24 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if you had to be 24 hours to be a diner.
Yeah. Right.
Don't
Okay.
know.
I've heard a lot of stories of New York comics saying that they finish doing all the sets for the night and it's 1 a.m, 2 a.m, and they all go and sit in the diner,
Yeah.
have a couple of coffees and a bit to eat and stuff, and just shoot the shit for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I think it's cool though.
Yeah,
But
they are, yeah.
For it to, I mean, we've got things like Karen's Diner. I know they've got that in the States as well. Things like that shut at 10 o'clock
Yeah,
every
I guess
night.
so.
It's
Yeah.
hard to get anyway. It's 24 hours over here.
I don't think
Yeah.
we've got the market for it.
I was
I
going
don't
to say,
think
it's
we've
the
got the
market
culture.
clientele, isn't it, for it? And,
Yeah, exactly.
24-hour pubs, yes. 24-hour diners now.
But this is different. It's something it's almost entirely American, and it is so difficult to describe. I think some of that is down to the food you get. I mean, hash browns, for example. You know, American hash browns are very American and hashy and brown. I love them. I love diners. I live for them. The conversation that happens, it makes you feel like you're in an American film set in a diner, such as Diner from the early 80s. And I don't know what it is. I will always love US diners. And are you still there? Yeah. No, I am. I'm choking up. I'm just thinking about the fact that they could one day be gone. I mean, in some respects, they are gone. You know, the diners, American diners, are part of a bygone era in this country. They used to be far more numerous and far more part of the American experience. But they are still here. And I think that's important. I think that they need to stay as part of the American experience. Otherwise, the American experience is no experience at all. Yes, I would like a refill on my coffee. Thank you. I talk about this one a lot on my channel, so I won't dwell on it, but I love food. Who doesn't? Dead people. But American food is often very interesting because they seem to take ideas from other country and then just create their own magnificent dish, right? You see this in pizza, for example, or Tex-Mex. And I think I'll really miss being able to get my Detroit style, or a burrito from Chipotle, or a Baconator from Wendy's. It's making me hungry just thinking about it.
I watched a YouTube chef the other day fly around America and rate every burger from every fast food diner.
Oh yeah.
And it was they've got to have a drive-through and they've got to have multiple locations. So it was all the big ones that we've watched videos on and stuff. And I've got to say, a lot of them that were absolute trash. Like he's getting it, and these are like some iconic chains, and he's opening the burgers, just going, look at it, and it's like unseasoned little shit patty.
Yeah.
So like food, when I was in the States, I loved the food. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But I think when we think from the UK, you might go, we need to go to Wendy's, or we need to go to insert all these places. A lot of them might actually be a bit shit. It's probably the more local things, isn't it?
If you get a burger now, it's the burger industry in the UK has changed massively.
Oh, it's huge, isn't it?
It's
Standards high.
Yeah, standards very high now. I had an Almost Famous last night. I don't know if that's American or it's American style. I don't know if it's an American chain.
No, it's an English chain.
English chain.
Yeah, it started in Manchester, didn't it?
Yeah, I had it last night. It was really good.
Yeah.
But it's like I say, that's the new trend of the burger.
Yeah.
It's the smash patty that's like, you know, 2 or 3 of them, or even more if you want, you know, loaded up. The years ago, you just got a shitty burger on a bun.
Yeah, probably a
like,
frozen patty as well.
Now it's like proper, now it's the real
proper
deal
beef
now.
and they are a lot better.
But then if you go somewhere like KFC, which you're talking about, got a drive-through, Almost Famous won't have a drive-through or anything like that, but KFC will. And KFC, when you go through, it's going to be shit with like a tiny little bit of mayo on. It's not even centre on the bun; it's fucking moved to the side.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, that's kind of the thing. You're comparing the nice ones you're talking about to a McDonald's double cheeseburger and things like that, and it's like there is no comparison, is there?
No.
It's true. I will miss American English. What? Oh, right. I will miss American English. And you might think, that's no surprise, Lawrence. You talk about it in all of your shorts. Yes, I do. But I also use it in my everyday life. Whether I'm taking out the trash or kicking a soccer ball or using the US date format. Which still, after all these years, doesn't come naturally. But on the other hand, I think if I were to move back to England, I would struggle at first to use the British English equivalents. And my English cousins and their cousins will think that I'm purposely overdoing it on the Americanisms in order to look cool. There really is no winning when you've lived in 2 countries for more than a decade. When it comes down to it, I think I would severely miss American road trips. And that is because I am at heart an adventurer. I am somebody who wants to see the entire world without leaving America. And you can do that, more or less, you know, because we have every terrain under the sun. And so I love it whenever I get the chance to wake up and hop into an RV and hit the open road. I don't have an RV. We've never had an RV. I've never even been into an RV, but the dream is real. But for now, my wife and I are more than happy to just do it in a Prius. I'm still talking about road trips. And we've seen a lot. You know, we've seen the entirety of Route 66, at least the Illinois portion of it. So not really the entirety of it, but some of it. And I had a great time. You know, we saw a lot of very kitschy things. We drove up to a 20-foot high spaceman. What more could you want? Except for incredible terrain, which America offers in abundance. I mean, you could be driving just east of the Mississippi, right, through Indiana. It's all cornfields and soy. But then you get out of there to Ohio, and that's all cornfields and soy, until you start getting toward Pennsylvania. And once you enter Pennsylvania, you start to realize, oh, look at this. There's a big mountain range approaching, or we're approaching it. And it's insane how this just comes upon you out of nowhere, and then you're lost in it for miles and hundreds of miles until you get to Philadelphia, and then it's just skyscrapers. Yeah, that's not the entirety of my road tripping experience. It's just one example, because if you were to take a car from Chicago and head west, not only would you cross the Mississippi River, but you would also then go across the Great Plains for hundreds of miles and see lots of farms for a while, and then get to the Rocky Mountains and probably not have a way to get through. But it'd be thrilling anyway, because you could just get out of the car, jump on a horse that magically appears, ride off into the mountains as if you're in a film, and then end up in Los Angeles and audition for a film. You know, not on horseback. I can imagine that'd be quite challenging. I might miss American accents, which might sound weird to some people, but you know, when I was at university and I was surrounded mostly by fellow English students, when the odd, usually very odd, American student would turn up and they'd have an American accent, they'd stand out, right? And it'd be something that I'd have my ears pinned to. Ooh, what are they going to say next about us? I was never suspicious of Americans. I was more fascinated because you didn't typically hear American accents in my part of the world. And so now that I've been living around them for the past 15 years and encountering many different accents from across the entire country, it's become a kind of a comforting thing in my life, because I play a little game in my head and it's, can I guess which part of America that person is from the way they speak? Just the other day I was listening to somebody online who had a vaguely southern accent, and they were talking about their Instagram account, and they were saying things like, I think my numbers have dropped a little bit over the last 2 years, and in my head I'm thinking, ooh, you're from Alabama probably. And I looked them up, and guess what? They were from Texas. Just goes to show how little I've actually observed. But I do like hearing y'all's accents on a daily basis.
I know he hams up the English accent, doesn't he? Like he leans into it, because no one from Grimsby talks like that.
No.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But he doesn't sound... There's not much of an American swang there.
I was going to say that. I didn't think there was any at all, really.
No, when I went back to America last year, and I was with my English mates, a lot of their accents had moved into the Americanism and the American twangs. And I think he maybe, like you say, I think he probably, on a day-to-day basis, he has it.
I think
probably for his channel, he probably
leans into it a
little bit more.
I think it's like when you've got the sort of voiceover voice. You know, like you can talk one way, and as soon as the microphone's on, it's like TV presenter sort of voice.
Yeah.
You never sort of picked it up when you were there, though, did you? I don't think.
A few people said, certain words you've got to,
Certain
otherwise
phrases
certain
you
phrases
just
you've got to
guess,
go
don't
into,
you?
because it's, you know, it wasn't for any reason of not trying to. You don't try to change your accent. It sort of like just molds into wherever you are, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess so,
My grandson's got a proper like black country accent. And then because I was with him all last week, by the time he ended it, he had a Manc accent.
He
even said the word bobbins.
You're doing well. You're doing well.
Exactly.
Get him trained.
Can you believe it? I will never again get to step foot inside an American park. And you might think, ooh, Lawrence, that's fine. Britain has some sensational green spaces, and it's true, it does. There's no denying that. But I have lived here for 15 years. That's almost a sixth of a century, and I've still never been to Yellowstone. I've still never been to the Grand Tetons. I've still never been to Yosemite. And this is something that's going to leave a hole in my stomach. Yeah, that's probably the hunger, actually. I need to run back in soon and get food. But I want to see all that. You know, and you can't do it in a day. You can't even do it in 15 years. I mean, these places are monumental. They are on a level the size of which you just do not see in the UK. I've said this before, in a short. America has 2 national parks that are larger than Wales. Now, I would give anything to spend 3 months and just go hiking in one of those places. You know, maybe actually get an RV, because that's a lot of walking, and make videos about it. Instead, those videos are going to come from the much smaller but no less magnificent Snowdonia National Park, ironically in Wales. I really hope you didn't skip the intro to this video. But the US not only has the biggest national park system, it has the oldest national park system. You know, we always hear, ooh, America doesn't have a history. Well, when it comes to national parks, it does. And they remind you of that when you go to visit them and you interact with the ranger, which is a real thing. You know, and they tell you things like, oh, this is where Teddy Roosevelt got off a horse, or this is the spot where some teenagers stole some bison a few years ago. Don't do that. It's very bad. And never mind the national parks. I'm going to miss the dog park where I take Arthur. I'm going to miss Arthur. Can he even come with me? So please look after your parks, America, and turn it off. Turn the camera off. I suppose if the sun does set on my time in America, one thing that I'll greatly miss is American sunsets. Is that really the transition? Just because 2 of the greatest sunsets that I've ever seen in my entire life both occurred right here in the United States of America. One of them off the coast of San Francisco in 2018, and the other right here in the Midwest frequently. And actually, I saw a particularly nice one when I buggered off to the beach the other day during the stupid heat wave. And with the lake facing east as opposed to west, which is where the Pacific was in San Francisco, there was something quite scintillating about watching this huge star in our solar system create an enormously beautiful hue behind the beach, even if it was ruined by people. Some might say improved because of the silhouette. Either way, sunsets on this level don't really occur in England. Usually you get a very nice one, but just not as nice as these. I'll miss them a lot. And finally, my American friends and family, and I think this is the bit where the producers wanted me to get emotional, but the parks did me in, man. And I don't like people. So that's unlikely to occur, but I do like some people, and those are usually my friends and some of my family. Yellow school bus. And with those, you can't really take them with you. This is something I discovered leaving England for America. Those friends and those family members, they have to stay over there, and then it's up to you and your access to Skype as to whether you connect with them on a frequent basis. And so far, I've done a pretty lousy job of doing that with my English people. So I imagine in reverse, I would do the same with Americans, and I'd forget all about them. Ooh, boo-hoo! You know, I've just realised a lot of them watch this channel. So I'm not referring to you. If you watch my channel, that means you love me, and you will stay in my phone book. But I think, all joking aside, Americans have generally been some of the most welcoming, nice and beautiful people that I've ever met. We Americans, like everyone, are just going about our lives and basically just trying to keep out of trouble. So well done to us. We are good people. There are some bad people here too. I mean, that's no different to Britain. And so with all of that being said, I suppose it's a good job that I'm staying. I'm Lawrence Brown. You can follow me on Twitter and or Threads. And if you've watched all the way through this video and haven't had a chance to subscribe to my channel...
Very good.
Yeah, see, the nicest sunset I've ever seen is in Santorini in Greece.
Oh, really?
It's
Nice.
a beautiful part of the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never been, but obviously my mum went for a while.
Yeah.
I've seen loads of pictures. It looks
Yeah.
stunning.
Yeah. And I've seen like sunsets in the USA. I've seen them in South America, then on the coastal countries there. But the best one I've ever seen, Santorini.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
Nice.
one in the desert. You know, when you've got the absolutely massive sun going behind the hills.
Yeah,
I think that'd be
that'd be great,
pretty
that.
amazing.
See, my ones are when you see them going behind like city landscapes.
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah.
big
Oh,
buildings.
amazing,
They're the
yeah.
ones I like.
Yeah, the ones with the big sun are good, aren't they?
They're the-
But
yeah.
you don't really get those over here, do you?
Not really.
It's just smaller, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we have this. We subscribe to the smaller sun in Britain.
We do. Well,
It's too small of a country. We can't fit it in.
yeah, it's not picking up. It's,
we're further away from the sun, aren't we? That's what it is. So it seems smaller. Yeah, sure.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.